This is the 82nd day in the Hamas-Israel war, and I'm Yair Pinto, reporting to you from the Gaza Strip. Yesterday, I was home. I recharged my batteries, kissed my wife and children, and returned to the front lines to join my brothers in arms fighting against Hamas in the Gaza Strip. When I arrived, I received a report about another terrible thing that Hamas is doing again to its own civilian population. Hamas is stealing the aid, the food, and the trucks that are coming in from Egypt from its own civilian population. These are the most needy people in the world, and Hamas is stealing the food from them. I can't imagine that someone who's responsible for a country is stealing from its own people. In Israel, everybody, the government and aid organizations, are taking care of the needy population within the country. And we see that Hamas, after bringing a war and devastation to the Gaza Strip and to the people of Gaza, is now stealing from the needy civilians. God, I really want to pray for the poor Palestinians, the innocent Palestinians that are suffering because of Hamas during this war. Pray that you will protect them and give them a better leadership. And now to the center of the Gaza Strip, in the area of Gaza City, in the neighborhood that is overlooking the Israeli community called Gaza Village. Fighters of the Tzabar Battalion began an operation against Hamas headquarters and tunnels in the area. The fighters eliminated many terrorists in face-to-face encounters after a tough battle that lasted almost a day, and with the help of the Air Force and precision bombs, the fighters managed to eliminate the terrorists, then located and destroyed 10 tunnel shafts. The words that the commander of the Tzabar Battalion said grabbed me. Let's listen to them together.
ב-7 לאוקטובר נלחמנו בכפר עזה נגד מרצחים מתועבים שיצאו מכאן, המקום בו אנו נמצאים. בחודשיים האחרונים נלחמנו ברצועת עזה, היינו במקומות עמוקים יותר, אבל היום אנחנו נמצאים במקום סמלי. מהמקום בו אני נמצא, כשאנו מסתכלים אחורה, אנו רואים את כפר עזה שוב. רק הפעם שאנחנו נמצאים בעמדה אחרת. פעם אנחנו נמצאים אצל האויב, בתוך הבתים, ומגנים עליכם. אנו גדוד צבר מתחייבים מכאן, שנילחם עד אשר תוכלו לחזור לביתכם בבטחה ובתחושת ביטחון מלאה. אנו נילחם עד הניצחון.
On Israel's front against Palestinian terror elements in Judea and Samaria, IDF forces, together with the Shin Bet and other special Israeli security units, identified and destroyed a weapons manufacturing laboratory that belongs to Hamas in the West Bank. Moreover, during the operation, the IDF arrested 33 wanted Palestinians. IDF reserve fighters, including engineering forces, operated throughout the night together with the Shin Bet and other security branches of Israel. They conducted counter-terrorism operations in the Nur al-Shams refugee camp under the command of the Menashe Brigade. As part of the operation, engineering vehicles uncovered and destroyed charges under and on the sides of the roads intended to harm our forces. In addition to the scans of the building, an explosives laboratory was located in which there were dozens of ready-to-use improvised explosives and materials to create additional bombs. All of this was destroyed by the IDF. In addition, more than 30 weapons, improvised rockets, and other means of warfare were also found in the building and were confiscated. The suspect, who was inside the building, in the laboratory, and the weapons were confiscated and arrested. During the operation, armed men shot and threw explosives at the IDF forces, who returned fire. An IDF soldier was slightly injured as a result of being hit by shrapnel and was taken to receive medical treatment at a nearby hospital. During this operation, the IDF arrested a female terrorist, Khaleda Jarrar, who was wanted for terrorism in the city of El Bira. This terrorist served as the head of the Popular Front in Judea and Samaria in recent weeks, and she tried to launch suicide terrorist attack with explosive devices against Israeli civilians and the IDF. Alongside her, other senior Popular Front activists were arrested in the Ramallah-Binyamin area. Amongst them, prominent activists were arrested: Rami Fadail, Hassan Shaitia, and Rashad Karga. The wanted persons who were arrested and the means of warfare that were confiscated were transferred for continued investigation. The fighters eliminated many terrorists in face-to-face encounters and by targeting aircrafts. Also, in that area, inside the neighborhood, IDF forces located and destroyed 10 tunnel shafts. And now to Israel's southern front against the Houthis in Yemen. Yesterday, an IDF fighter jet intercepted a hostile aerial target in the Red Sea area. An Air Force fighter jet successfully intercepted a hostile aerial target that was on its way to Israeli territory in the Red Sea. During the day, the U.S. military intercepted 12 suicide drones, 3 ballistic missiles, and 2 cruise missiles launched by the Houthis in Yemen, according to the Pentagon. On Israel's northern front against the Hezbollah terror organization, which is a proxy of Iran, IDF fighter jets attacked terror infrastructure of Hezbollah in Lebanese territory a short while ago. IDF observers identified a building from which the terrorists launched anti-tank missiles towards a church in Shumera area earlier today. IDF forces conducted an offensive and targeted that building. As a result of the shooting at Israel, a number of IDF soldiers who came to evacuate a civilian who had been injured earlier that day in that location were seriously injured, and 8 others were moderately and lightly wounded. The soldiers were evacuated and received further medical treatment at a nearby hospital. Also, a shot was detected toward the Dov area, which is located on Israel's northern front on the border with Lebanon. This shot was carried out from an area near a mosque in the village of Yaron in southern Lebanon. In this attack, the terrorist organization Hezbollah proves once again its cynical exploitation of the citizens of southern Lebanon and the holy sites. In addition, in the last few hours, several launches were seen from Lebanon towards the Iftach and Mountain Dov inside Israel. The IDF retaliated with tank and artillery fire towards the origins of the launches inside Lebanon. IDF spokesman Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Hagari referred to Hezbollah's attack in Lebanon and said, "Hezbollah continues to endanger the future of all of Lebanon for Hamas and for Iran. We will continue to act resolutely to keep him away from the border." I want to salute 2 heroes who lost their lives defending the country of Israel in this war. First one is Lieutenant Yaron Eliezer, 23 years of age, from Ra'anana. He's a deputy company commander in the Shaked Battalion of Givati. He was killed last night in a battle in the northern part of Gaza Strip against Hamas. In addition, Sergeant Itai Button, 20 years of age, from Petah Tikva, and Sergeant Ephraim Yachman, 21 years of age, from Neve Daniel. Both fighters are in the Shaked Battalion, were also killed last night in the battle in the northern Gaza Strip. Let's pray for their families that God will comfort them and give them the courage and the power to continue and living here in Israel. I want to say really that we hear every day more and more people that are losing their lives in this war. But I feel that every day that passes, we're getting closer and closer to defeating Hamas, to releasing our hostages, and to returning the security and the safety back to our borders. It will take time, I know, but we're doing the right thing. That's That's my feeling, and I believe that God is with us and He is protecting the IDF and the people of Israel. So please join me in prayer for the peace of Jerusalem, for the IDF soldiers, and share the truth of what God is doing here in the Middle East. We are fighting an enemy. Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, and other Palestinian terrorist elements. We need to stop them here in the Middle East before they spread to the rest of the world. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for praying. And I'll be here with you every day to share what is happening in the Middle East, in Israel, inside the Gaza Strip. So thank you for praying for us. It means the world for me and for my fellow soldiers.